Hey everybody! Alright, hopefully this works and you're not getting the music twice. We have a new setup. I have new lights. Haven't quite figured those out yet. I have a microphone now in here, so hopefully you can hear what's going on, but not too much. So if something's off, let me know, because we're still figuring it out. Normally I'm a little more prepared, but I've been struggling today. So we're starting from square one. I haven't gotten out anything. I haven't started any of my pasta. Yeah. I stayed up way too late. I made some new emotes for my subscribers. I'm still waiting. Hello, Hotberry. Hello, Kieran. Hello, Roy Rage. Charlie. Mama Zug. Velocity T. Like I said, I don't know why my commands aren't working. I had that set up. But yeah, it's today we're winging it. It's the end of the year. We're making it work. Since I'm not going anywhere, I got a little dressed up for you all. I'm sparkly. I got stars on me. So yeah, we're doing 1 pot Cajun pasta. It might not all fit in a pot because I'm doing a double dose, which means not 1 pound of pasta, but 2 pounds of pasta. And then, yeah, this shouldn't dirty very many dishes. I mean, there's still going to be a decent number. And I might have to split this up as we're going. Just because I'm doing such a large amount. But, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. You're all so sweet. So yeah, we might as well just dive right in. Like, this one should cook pretty quickly. Like, the pasta is going to take the longest, and then you add the pasta before the sauce is done, but you're using a high heat on the pan, so it shouldn't be super long. Since I'm doing it live and I've never made anything like this before, this is a new recipe for me, and I'm also deviating from the recipe. So as we get there, this is not a Food Network recipe. I don't think I even looked on Food Network for this one. I just saw this recipe and I'm like, done. I want to try this. But it seems good. We're going to play with spices. We're going to make our own Cajun seasoning. So if you want to be lazy, you can get Cajun season pre-made. But then you can't really control the spices as well. Just thank you so much for the follow. At least my notifications are working. If it's not one thing, it's another. Maybe 2021 will be better. 2 days and counting. Yay. So, yeah. Let's get into it. First things first. Wash your hands. So we'll do that. I'll switch this over. Even though there's not a whole lot to look at, we can pretend. Our pretty pots and pans. And since I have the water running, might as well get the water boiling for the pasta. Oh no, I missed it. I don't want to miss it. I don't want to miss it. What'd I miss? Scrollack! Oh my goodness, thank you so much. What in the world are you doing? Holy 50 emotes. Wow. Wow, thank you. You do not have to do that. I miss you too. We'll hang out soon, I'm sure. I'm sure. Now I'm touching the computer. I'm going to have to wash my hands again. But that's okay. 10 tier 1 subs. Wow. Scrollack. Again, thank you. You don't have to, but I certainly appreciate it. And yes, we will get together soon because pandemic is super fun. So there's pasta water halfway. Gillette, hello, Mr. Gillette. You're. Always salt your pasta water. This is the majority of the salt. There's a little that gets added into the seasoning on the chicken because you want to salt your meat as well. Normally when I eat this like at restaurants and stuff, the seasoning's just right. I don't need to add any table salt. What? How did I leave you hanging? What'd I do? Oh no. So yeah, that's why I'm doing the seasoning separately so I can control them a little better, because I don't want there to be table salt or table pepper. It should be done correctly where you don't need it. Oh, Gillette. Yeah, I was getting ready, Gillette. Jeez. Jeez. Yes, Kitty, please leave the kitchen right now. Alright, so this recipe, like I said, is normally done in one pot, and this is meant to feed a family. I think they say it's servings for 4, but that seems a bit off. Yeah, it's 8 servings per container on this. So doubling it, this is serving for a family. The whole recipe, I think, is supposed to take like 40 minutes. We're probably going to take a little longer just because I get distracted. And it's my first time making it, so I tend to go a bit slower. But you're kind of meant to just throw it all together. I'm going to cut up the chicken because I haven't done that yet. It was frozen. Otherwise, if you already have it cut up, another thought I had was to do the Cajun seasoning as a crust, baking it almost to completion, and then doing the sauce and throwing the chicken in with it. So there are a lot of different ways that you can go about making this. This is one way. And the main reason I wanted to try this recipe over others is because it uses chicken broth and cream cheese, which I had not thought of as an Alfredo base. Normally I just do whole milk. Cajun penne, yes, it's gonna be delicious. Absolutely delicious. My commands aren't working, Gillette. I don't know why, but I don't feel like fixing it right now. So they'll be back and working later. I don't know. Things are happening and we're just going with it. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, so this recipe was actually pretty simple. It calls for chicken, cream cheese, chicken stock or chicken broth. Most of it's going to be in the seasoning, but this is a pretty basic base. So that's what I kind of wanted to show too, because then you can throw taco seasoning, you can throw Italian seasoning. You can just kind of do what you want with it. And then for freshness, I'm going to do green onions on top. You cook the onions in. And then I also added peppers to the recipe because I like how colorful they are and they're delicious. Oh, and butter. Of course, you're going to need butter for all of it. Because how would it be an Alfredo type without butter? But I don't think it called for any fresh garlic. I think that's all in the seasoning, along with like thyme, paprika, a few other things I don't play with a lot. So we'll see what happens. Let's see. Ugh. So let me double check the recipe. So yeah, this says that the total time is 30 minutes. Again, we're gonna take longer because it's my first time. For a single portion of this recipe, it says it's about $10, depending on where you're from. This, yeah, it does say 4 servings, so it's saying about $2.50 a serving. That's a lot of pasta. That's a double portion. And the pasta alone, so that's 400 calories just from the pasta. Plus everything else you're putting in? I don't think so. I don't think so. So. Thank you. Thank you so much, Iceman. My little kitty. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. So it's pretty straightforward. You have your seasonings, and then you have the chicken and the pasta. Oh, okay. It does call for a ½ pound, so I have some extra. All right, because I'll be doing a whole box then to double. That makes a little more sense. That makes more sense. I got you now. It does only call for like 2 ounces of cream cheese, which I thought was kind of weird. But we're gonna start with cutting. Oh no, okay. So yeah, it does say to start by making the Cajun seasoning. And then you cut the chicken because you're gonna toss the chicken in the Cajun seasoning. So I need a small bowl, which is still in the dishwasher. And most of this prep time, like, the pasta is going to be cooking anyway. If you have pre-made pasta, then you can do the sauce separate. Yeah. So it is a pretty simple recipe once you get the hang of it. Where all the white chicken at? The chicken is coming. Like I said, we're going to start with the seasoning, and I'll kind of explain a little bit what's going in. I haven't worked a ton with some of these seasonings, and then I'll kind of taste it as we go and see where we are. So we're doubling. I do have to remember that. And it wants thyme, garlic powder, onion powder, of course, the essentials. Oh, that one's opened. We got garlic powder, onion powder, thyme, cayenne, black pepper, salt, smoked paprika, and oregano, which I have fresh. So that's going to be slightly different from the recipe. And then I need my measuring spoons, which are still over here. Like I said, normally I try to be a little organized, but things just didn't want to cooperate with me today. Teaspoons, not tablespoons. Half tablespoon. There's my teaspoon. There we go. All right. So pasta water's still going. Fresh paprika, well, fresh dried paprika. And this says to start with 2 teaspoons, and we're doubling, so we want 4. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. Normally, when I try a new recipe, I definitely recommend following the recipe. Like, don't deviate, don't do like what I'm doing. I just have a little bit of experience knowing what I like and what my family likes, since I'll be sharing. And it's baked with, unlike with baking, with cooking you can kind of fudge the numbers a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's more of an art than it is a science. Baking is science, cooking is art. Alright. So we got smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon of thyme. So again, doubling to 2. I'm glad you like the emotes, Lethal. I was wondering if they were maybe too small, but I think it gets the point across. I might fiddle with them some more. I'm terrible with this stuff. I'm like, no, I want it to be perfect. Of course, now when the water's like, no, we're super ready to go. Alright, there's 1. I think one of the reasons I like Cajun seasonings is because it's very earthy. It's very natural tasting, but it also has a really good heat to it, and I like flavorful spice. I don't want it to be hot just to be hot. I want it to be delicious. So I'm not cooking up as much as I thought I was, but that's okay, because I can always defrost more chicken and make this again. We're still doubling the recipe, so it's still going to serve 8, which should do my family, and still give me some leftovers. That's the goal. That's the goal, at least. And then, only half a teaspoon of garlic powder? Oh no, honey. Mm-mm. Not in this family. I don't want it to be overpowering because it's not supposed to be an Italian dish, so we'll start with like 1.25 teaspoons, and then we can adjust from there. It says the same thing for onion powder, but again, well, there's fresh onion. There's 2 whole onions going in this, so I guess I can be a little more lenient on the powder. Yes, we have to. But then here's where I know it's a problem. It says 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne, which is good if you like just a hint of heat, like just that little, hey, I'm here, but I'm not doing a whole lot. We like hot. So we're doing a full teaspoon. And then we can adjust from there. Eh. Yeah, that looks good. So I got the pasta going. That's gonna take a hot second. Yeah, right. Throw the Cajun in there. We want all of the spice. Cayenne. I mean, I might throw some chili in there, but then I am adding peppers, which are gonna kind of boost that heat a little bit. But they're also gonna increase the water content, so we'll see. Ooh. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze now. Pardon me. Oh, I will wash my hands. My oregano plant is going crazy. Whew. That is very fragrant too. It's gonna be delicious. So if you switch from dried ingredients to fresh ingredients, go way less. So this says 1 teaspoon oregano. I just grabbed off 2 of my longer sprigs. And hey Billy, how are you? I hope you had a good stream last night. Sorry I couldn't stick around for all of it. So yeah, I'm just gonna try a bit of this because again, it's not an Italian dish. You just kind of want some of those flavors in there. But as they dry, some of the oils are going to be lost. And so you shouldn't need as much when you go fresh. I'll grab a couple more. I want a little more oregano in there. I'm gonna have to make some more oregano oil. My plant is going crazy. Now that it finally snowed, it thinks that it's summer because my house is warm and the light's reflecting off the ground, so it thinks that there's more daylight than there actually is. Here we go. All right. Hopefully that should be good. That's the wrong drawer. I know this better. So I'm just gonna mix this up real quick like. I mean, it smells interesting. Mostly I just smell the thyme and the oregano. So I wonder how that's gonna cook down. And then we cut up the chicken. Wee! And these, you just cut it to like bite-sized cubes. I mean, you could even do it whole if you want. It's gonna cook a lot faster the smaller you cut it, obviously. Grab my paper towel. And it can go right into the bowl as we finish. Hopefully I can keep my hands out of the way. It's still a little frozen, even though it's been defrosting for a couple days. So I typically like my bite-sized pieces to be about 1/2 inch. Maybe a little smaller. But go with what works for you and your family. I've eaten this where it's left in strips. I've seen it where it's baked whole and then cut down. So there's lots of different ways. Just do what works for you. I kind of like the idea of letting the pasta bake and the chicken bake at the same time, or the pasta cook and the chicken bake at the same time. So I can go sit down and do other things. And then throwing it all together in one pan at the end. Again, I'm super lazy when it comes to cooking. But yeah, like that's my largest piece right there, which seems good for me. They don't have to be perfect little cubes. Oh, I'm sorry. Now my allergies are really going. I'll have to double check. I didn't see any buds on my oregano, but there must be if I'm having this much allergies from smelling the leaves. Because I'm allergic to pollen and a lot of other things. But yeah, I always cut my chicken, I mean any meat honestly. You want to cut it cross grain. Just tends to cook a little better, be a bit more tender. Want to try and have even sized pieces just so that it all cooks evenly. That's why people go to culinary school, to learn these kinds of techniques. I did not. I just watched other people do it on TV. Because I had nothing better to do with my life at that time. I thought about posting a picture of what the dish is supposed to look like on the social media pages today, but mine never turns out like that. So I didn't want to get expectations up and then have people be like, wait, what did you actually make? Because this is what you said you were making and what you made doesn't look like that at all. But that's the difference between a professional photographer and a home chef. And last one. So this calls for 1 pound of chicken for 1/2 pound of pasta, which seems about right. I'm doubling, so 2 pounds of chicken for 1 pound of pasta. I see you, kitty. No, you're not getting raw chicken. That's just gross. Honestly, the chicken's a little easier to cut, being ever so slightly still frozen. And I have really sharp knives that can get through it, even with that little bit. So with it still being a little frozen, that means I'm going to lose more moisture, which is not too bad because I have the extra peppers that I'm throwing in to kind of make up for some of that water content that I'll lose in the chicken. I just have to watch it carefully because I don't want my chicken to go too dry because I lost my moisture. Hard tickle. I'm making Cajun chicken penne, kind of Alfredo. It's a different take on an Alfredo than I've seen, so that's why I was curious to try it. Right now we're just kind of mixing the spices onto the chicken. Again, since that chicken is mostly wet, there's a lot of surface to cover. And then you're going to throw this in a hot pan, which is going to blacken a bit, but you're supposed to let it blacken. You want that butter to brown up a little bit too, and then the moisture content from the onions and the peppers are going to loosen those blackened bits and give you that really nice smoky flavor that you're also going to get from paprika and some of the earthy stuff. Oh, my hand's so cold right now. Food artist. I know, right, Johnny? Del Peppers, hello. Thank you for the follow. Infinite Logic, thank you for showing up. I know you guys are busy. Hopefully I'm making you hungry right around dinner time. Oof. Okay, don't do as I do. Do as I say. I am very well practiced with knives. I'm using the backside, which the knife has already been on the chicken, so I'm not concerned about cross-contamination here. I want to make sure I get as much of these spices in there, because that's what they're there for. But you could also mix this other ways without having to, like, make a complete mess. I just like, if I'm cooking, I'm gonna get dirty. That's part of the point of it. Get in there. Don't actually put in blood, sweat, or tears, but the whole saying, like, the blood, sweat, and tears is the love that makes it taste right. Maybe that's just a me thing. Alright, so I think that's pretty well coated. I see a few spots, but as that cooks, it'll be fine. So we wash hands. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So the hot water released some of those oils and I could smell the blend of spices a bit better. And yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I can adjust still once it's in all the cream sauce and everything. But I think we're pretty close. All right. I'm always hungry too. Like it's kind of a problem. Oh, I didn't add the pepper and the salt. That's fine. So for Christmas, my parents were awesome and they got me salt and pepper grinders. So we'll just give this a good dusting. I'll mix it up real quick with my hands. Do another dusting because it's supposed to be a 1/4 teaspoon of each. And then since we're doubling, so 1/2 teaspoon of each. I tend to like things a little more on the salty side, but again with this, I've never had to add more salt when I've ordered it. So we'll see. We'll try this, see what it does, see what it tastes like. There. Ugh, the only problem with the grinder is I have to wash my hands in between. Don't want raw chicken juice all over my new salt and pepper grinders. Wait, what? T-Mac, thank you. You don't have to do that. Is that so I share my food with you? Am I making you hungry? Like I said, I got enough. I could make a second batch. Alright, so pepper, a little more salt. I personally don't know how much difference in cooking using the pink Himalayan sea salt is going to do. I know you can taste it more as like a table seasoning. Same with the pepper blends. So my parents were awesome and got me this like 5 pepper blend. So we'll see. I know, like again, as a table seasoning, you taste it more. All right, so cut, place in bowl, pour coat, olive oil and butter. So for this, it says a tablespoon of olive oil. We doubled, just a generous amount, and then 1 tablespoon of butter. So fortunately, it's not calling for like a ton, but I'll start letting this warm up. Cut my 2nd tablespoon of butter.
Custom playlist from Simply Now, perfectly curated for you to listen to as you enjoy our delicious and smart snack options. Click the banner now for our New Year, New Tunes playlist. Get snack a little smarter with Frito-Lay.
Let that do its thing. Put this away. Get out some spoons.
And live, Bombay burst the week's troubles. And stir.
I now have a fancy dancy pasta ladle.
Stir creativity. Enjoy Bombay responsibly. Imported by the Bombay Spirits Company, USA, GOgh, Florida.
So yeah, I'm just cooking the pasta over low because again, I want this to take some time. I knew it was going to take a little longer getting the chicken prepped. So I can turn this up a little higher because we want this to brown. The brown butter, when it starts getting a little foamy, is just, it's so good. Whenever something calls for butter, I definitely recommend brown butter. Brown butter. Black garlic. Oh, yeah, black garlic's so good. Hello, Not Haley. Thank you guys for coming by. Joining me for some dinner. So yeah, with the Cajun seasonings, like I said, I haven't worked with paprika or thyme very often. Oregano I do, especially since my plant is going absolutely crazy. I'm probably going to start up my arrow garden soon, so I'll show that to you guys. I know I was trying to tell Johnny a bit about it. For those of you like me who are terrible at gardening, the arrow garden is amazing. And then if you time it right, hopefully you can get it in pots or in the ground once it's ready to come off the arrow garden so that you can start new seeds. There are ways to do it without like buying a brand name. I just like it being all in one without a whole lot of fuss or muss. And I think I got mine on sale for $100. And it's been a learning curve because I'm really not a good gardener. So yeah, this says, once the skillet's hot, the butter's melted and foamy, which means it's starting to brown a little bit. You just add the chicken, cook until the outside starts to get some color, gets a little black bits. While that's going, we dice the onion. You can always have pre-diced onion. I didn't get that far. And then let that cook a little bit. Add some peppers. I'll probably do one of each and see if that's going to be too much. And then once that sautés for just a couple minutes, you add the pasta, some tomatoes, cream cheese, and the chicken broth. You let it simmer for maybe 10 more minutes, it says, stirring a little bit. And you're done. There you go. You can add a little bit of Parmesan on top for that umami flavor. I'm going to use some of the ricotta from, or not ricotta, some of the cheese from last week. Yeah, the fresh Reggiano. I know there's a place in Michigan my family went that does black garlic and truffle oil fries. So yeah, I do recommend it. I really do. Because if you get a chance to try black garlic, do it. If you get a chance to try truffle oil, even though I hate mushrooms, do it. It's better to try it and then like know than to not try it. Like, I'd rather know for sure, oh, I don't like the flavor that's giving off, it's too reminiscent of mushrooms, or I don't like the texture of this thing or something, because you might find out later in life that there are ways to change the flavor that you don't like or change the texture you don't like. And this is coming from someone who like is terrified to try a lot of things. Like, I'm picky with food. If I have my choice, just give me my chicken tenders and some buffalo sauce and mac and cheese. Alright, so since I have both of those going and I showed chopping onions last time, I'm just going to do this real fast on off camera. Normally I like to show it, so I should have done that before I started the chicken. But, like I said, I did not manage today the best. Today got away from me. sure to give this a flip so that it can keep cooking. Make sure you have a nice large skillet when you're doubling recipes, otherwise it's going to overflow. There, yeah, that's starting to get the right Cajun smelling. I go a lot by smell, and smell is actually a huge portion of taste. Thank you. I am wearing sparkly Halloween skeleton socks because I can. Halloween's my favorite, and now that Christmas is over, I can pretend that I'm preparing for next year's Halloween. Also, I just wanted something sparkly and black, and that's the closest thing I had. I didn't have any New Year's socks. Okay. So I can cut up the other one, let this side blacken up a little bit. Alright, so it's going to sizzle even more. Hopefully that delicious sizzle is coming through. Oh yeah, those spices are really coming through now. Oh, it smells so good. Oops. That piece didn't get cut very well. Well, that's okay, I can use it for something else. I don't recommend reaching your hands into a hot pan. It's right on top, so I don't know. I trust myself, but do as I say, not as I do. And you haven't eaten. Oh no, Bone Train. No. Hello, TV2Fly. Hello, everyone else I've probably missed. Since I have the recipe up, I'm trying to keep track of chat on my phone. Makes it a little more difficult. So, I already said this, like my family is a big fan of onion, but since I'm adding the peppers, I honestly don't think we need to double up on the onion. Like, they must be talking about small onions. So I'm going to rinse a couple peppers because I didn't do that, and then I'll cut those in there instead. I don't know about overseas, but at least here in the States, always make sure you rinse with hot water because we will coat things with wax to preserve it as it ships. You don't want to eat the wax. That's not delicious. I probably could have let that blacken up a little more. But since I did double the recipe, I want to make sure this has plenty of time to cook down and mix. My pasta should be getting close. Yeah. My pasta's almost there, so I'm going to turn the pasta off, let that just kind of cook on its own. Do the peppers real fast. Alright, so for the peppers, since I haven't done these on stream, I don't think, if you follow the sectioning and cut there, then it peels right off of the seeds. There we go. There, finding it. So you don't even have to try and cut the stem out. You just pop. And then you can more easily cut those sections. You don't have as many seeds to contend with if you don't like the seeds. Even with that, I can just shake them out. And you don't have as much pulp to contend with because the pulp is very bitter. So, no, I am not Cajun. I just like spicy and delicious things. Gillette, I'm not ignoring you. I'm sorry, I didn't hear it. Hello, Gillette. Thank you. I will go put a hat on for you. I did just say that I was trying to watch chat on my phone, which is not the best. But there, I have my little, like, 20s, 30s cat. Kind of matches. It's tan. We'll count it. I personally like my peppers to be in larger strips, but you can also obviously break them down, do smaller bite size. I just like that really good pepper hit. Peppers are delicious. Alright. I don't know if I need a second pepper. That's looking really good. That's all starting to thicken up nicely. I mean, I might as well. I like veggies. And the onion still has a little more way to go. It's just starting to turn translucent. It's not supposed to be fully cooked because then you're going to simmer all this together for a bit. I don't know if you guys just heard that, but apparently my neighbors are setting off fireworks. Gee, it's not terrifying at all. I love fireworks. They're my favorite. Like I said, I just want to watch the chicken, make sure that doesn't get too dry. Cooking skills. It's more your own thoughts about cooking get in the way. So I actually started learning about cooking at Mongolian Barbecue, which was this basically hibachi place. But this was back when they just put out all the spices and you can put whatever you want in there. So we would do the all-you-could-eat buffet. And I normally would eat maybe 1 or 2 tricks up there. But if I made a bad batch because the spicing was wrong, I didn't feel guilty because we already paid for it. So it was an easy way to experiment on someone else's diet. And then from there, like I watched, they just threw everything on a grill and was like, look, done. So it made it a little less terrifying for me to get in the kitchen. I mean, I'm in my 30s and I'm still figuring a lot of this stuff out. So it's really never too late to learn. Alright, I don't want to overkill on the peppers. I think that's enough, so I'll save the other half for something else. Because now all of it's semi-translucent, starting to go completely transparent. So I just kind of want to let it do its thing. Game or eat? I mean, you could game and eat a brownie. Could be interesting. If the sizzle is annoying, let me know. Masonite, thank you so much. I appreciate that. You really don't have to. But these spices are starting to really smell like the Cajun seasoning I'm used to tasting. So I think I got the blend that's right for me. So yeah, the moisture is dissolved. Now it says add the pasta and tomatoes and the chicken broth. So I'll drain the pasta. Oh no, I heard it. I heard it. I'm coming. And as I anticipated, this is going to be way too much to add to this pan because I doubled. So we're going to switch over and put it in this one. Yep. I could have planned that better. And I'm just making sure to scrape off any of those stuck on bits. You can see where it started to kind of caramelize. That's going to add a good amount of that smoky flavor that it calls for. I'll do that. Make sure my pasta doesn't stick, so we'll get this mixed. Thank you so much, Masonite. I really appreciate it. Let's see. Oof, oof. Gifted. Yay, Hotberry. Aw, Hotberry's awesome. Pretty much all of you guys are awesome. In case you didn't know, just saying. So then 2 cups chicken broth, and this is gonna cook down, and we're doubling, so we want 4, which is why I switched over. I have a vague idea of what 2 cups would look like with this much quantity, but we'll measure it out. There we go. It should finish this container. Yep. I'm so good at this. There. Yep, 32 ounces, so a whole one of these. And that's going to also kind of break up any of the caramelization. It's going to help keep cooking that little bit of the pasta, keep cooking everything else, so it's nice and delicious. So we add tomatoes. Oh, come on. There we go. So this calls for 1 can of fire roasted tomatoes with the juices. We're doubling. I only could find 1 can of the fire roasted, and I'm also allergic to tomatoes. Not everyone in my family is a huge fan. So I'm not doing quite double. But I did find some roasted tomatoes and some seasonings, so hopefully that works. I think these are the kind that are more meant for like a sauce that you puree. But we're gonna make it work. We're gonna do it. It'll be fine. Give it a stir. Let it kind of reduce some of that liquid. It says 10 minutes, I believe, before you add the cream cheese. Stir everything till evenly combined. Place a lid. Bring to boiling. Until liquid is thick and saucy. So it's definitely a boiling. See if my clear will work. To medium low. Voila. So then this just kind of cooks. Cream cheese, so it's half a bar of cream cheese here in America. As always, Philadelphia. So yeah, they say to use a 4-quart capacity. You may need to adjust the heat. You may need to adjust cooking size. So that just kind of reduces. And in the meantime, is anyone doing anything for New Year's? Because I haven't heard of any like New Year's parties. I haven't heard of anything. I know Twitch is talking about trying to get people doing stuff. But even family, I haven't heard anything of like getting together anywhere, like anyone doing anything for New Year's. Aw, hey twice a night. You were paying it forward. That's cool. That's so cute. Getting drunk on your lonesome. I thought about it because I do have some champagne here, but I asked for some sparkling grape juice instead. Because I'm lame. And amazing. And amazing. I'm really not used to wearing hats. This is weird. See, Roy Rage, if you stream, then you're not on your lonesome. Because I had thought about doing like easy cocktails, or I saw like a really cool idea for a Bellini bar. But again, if people aren't getting together, it seemed kind of silly. Like, I don't know, I wouldn't want to set up a whole Bellini bar when I could just drink grape juice. So maybe next year, like, I can do some of the more party related stuff. Because even the states that are open, I haven't heard anything about anyone going anywhere or doing anything. I think everyone's just kind of waiting to see when they're getting locked down. If they're getting locked down. I know the UK has been getting locked down again. People just missed people, especially come holidays. Childish Coltino, I understand. I understand. That is super important. So it said medium low. I've got it on just a simmer. It does say to kind of stir it a few times because you want it to thicken up. Typically, you don't have a lid on it when you're trying to thicken a sauce. So we'll see. Because the lid traps in the moisture. But she said to use a lid, so we're trying it. Did you see Calamity's fireworks? Because Jess did a really good job on his holiday logo. I understand Roy Rage. Honestly, before this, I was raging a little bit. I didn't sleep very well last night. I didn't get to sleep at a good time last night. And I've just been feeling stressed and overwhelmed lately. Normally I handle it pretty well, but something about the holidays just really put me over the edge. So my poor cat, because I was cussing at my phone. And she wasn't even in the room. But she still doesn't like me getting frustrated and upset. It was just one of those where, like, everyone and their mother was messaging today. At least that's what it felt like. So when I'm tired and I'm trying to get ready and I'm trying new setups and I'm trying new music, not great timing. So it's important to take care of yourself. Mentally, physically, do what you need to do without harming anyone in the process. Always a good plan. I do need to figure out something with the lights, because I think it'll be better when I'm not at the stove with these lights. Because I have to turn this way to look at the light, but my stove is here. Because there's a wall right here. Makes it kind of hard to put a light fixture up. But we'll figure it out. We're getting there. Little improvements each and every time. Probably doesn't help all the caffeine that I've been drinking. But I did just order a bunch of healthy water. Antioxidant water. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully. We'll see. Charlie! Why did my music stop? Wait, there it goes again. Okay. Can you guys even hear the music? Like, I don't know if I've got it too quiet, but I'm trying to make sure it's not coming through my speakers so the microphone also picks it up. Rage at everything, yeah. I'm not a rage kind of person. It's pretty rare that I do that these days. So normally if I'm getting to the point where like I'm yelling at my phone, something's up. So after I eat and have a delicious meal, I'm gonna have to do a self check-in and be like, all right, Aaron, what's up? Why are we getting mad at our phone? Where's the old wine? Oh yeah, I never did check. There should be a date somewhere on this. I mean, it's barefoot, so it's probably fine. Barefoot Cellars 2008. Ooh, a 12-year-old wine. I don't think there's gonna be any bubbles left. We hear it very low in the background. All right. I'm trying a DMCA free Spotify list that I found. So I don't want all of my sound to get turned off if something gets picked up because I've never tried this before. Oof, pardon. But at the same time, I don't want it where like it's kind of bothersome because you can't hear it. Is that a little better? Hopefully the mic's not picking it up. Yeah. Adjust. I think that's better. Is that a little better? So you can hear the music, but it's still not coming through the mic? It's true. Customer service really does. So, apparently I'm a Libra, what is it, like Libra Sun and a Leo Moon or something, like one or the other. So like, on the outside, I'm a Libra and super indecisive, but on the inside, I'm a Leo and I want all the spotlight. But the Libra doesn't want any spotlight, so like, I'm always at odds with myself. Okay, yeah. This lid's gotta come off. It is not reducing. Like I didn't think it would. I know that the pasta is supposed to help thicken this up, but that seems like a lot to try and reduce in 10 minutes. Especially if it's supposed to be on medium low. It would probably cook faster too if it was in a skillet where it was spread out. So sometimes lazy cooking isn't the best cooking. Sometimes it takes longer because you're trying to cook more. Jelly jams. Yeah, I like this. This is... So a guy... What's his name? Harris Heller paid people to make a bunch of music so he could make a streaming playlist for people that's free. So we're trying it. We'll see if this video gets flagged. But at the same time, I really didn't want to have to blast my music from the opposite side of the house for you guys to try and pick it up. Because I didn't know if that would work at all. Bubbly. Oh, that smells so good too. It's gonna be delicious, you guys. I'm impatient, I want it now, but I need to let it cook down. If you get super duper impatient like I do, you can always add a little bit of cornstarch A little bit of cornstarch goes a long way with thickening up a sauce. But I do have cornstarch only for that reason. Because I get impatient and I don't want to wait for things to reduce because I cook large vats of things, which takes so long to reduce. Because I'm guessing this is supposed to reduce by like half. Yeah, jelly jams. This one, I think I just did his dance mix. I had an EDM mix set up on my PC, but then when I pull it up on my laptop, I couldn't find it. So this one, yeah, is called Dansu. He has quite a few of them, and I just have them on shuffle and repeat. So it's doing its own thing, and we'll see if any of it gets flagged. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. I want to add the cheese. Oh gosh, patience is not my strong suit. Like, life keeps trying to force me to learn to be patient. But then as soon as I get through that trial, I'm like, okay, back to being impatient. I'm done. Let's go. Let's do it. Ugh. Fortunately, at least with Twitch, like, I know it's going to take forever if I ever make it to partner. And that's not even a goal I'm really shooting for. So, I'm not like, oh, I gotta be partner now. I gotta do this. I gotta, like, do all the things. But I am super impatient because I want to support everyone all the time, which is impossible. But I should be able to do it because I want to. All the time. Forever and ever. Which is why I didn't go to bed till 7 in the morning. And then I felt bad because by the time I got up, people were already streaming. And they're like, where were you? And I was like, yeah, no, I was asleep. I'm like, well, play games with us. I was like, I kind of got to start getting ready. And then they were sad. I am hoping to be up by like noon Eastern Standard tomorrow. So then I can celebrate the countdown. Oh, I'll already have missed it in Malaysia. I'll have to get up at 11. No, 10:30 because 11 o'clock our time is midnight in Malaysia. And there's Sweet Cheeks. Revelations. Hello. I'm sorry I missed you come in. I'm terrible at this today. Yeah, I'm alone. I have a lot of free time right now. So I'm like, I should be investing it in other people and doing all the things and helping everyone. But you can't sustain that. Yeah, Rob, I am definitely slacking. I mean, it might be kind of cool to be partner. I don't really know. The big difference with that, it was kind of neat. So last night, I was watching 3 different people. And one of the people who's kind of small time, but he has like his loyal 5 people that are almost always there. Even if they're not the most active all the time. He's got like a steady 10 to 15 viewers. And he got raided by someone with 25,000 followers. So it was like 4 in the morning for me. But it was a like 350 person raid. It was absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Alright, it's starting to thicken up, but it's still pretty liquidy. So not quite yet. I'm just going to keep letting that bubble away. A lot of those juices are getting pulled into the pasta, so the pasta's going to be a little overcooked. Just because I didn't time it quite right. The onion is almost fully transparent for most part. That's nice and cooked. I would have liked to get some seasoning on the peppers, but I'll do that next time. Something to think about, having that all pre-chopped and ready to go before I get started. And then making like a second batch of seasoning for the peppers. Or even grilling the peppers, because I love a grilled pepper. So good. But that's the only reason I'd want to make partner, is just because then I could do that for other people. Like, it was really cool. And he's not the most outwardly reactive. Normally I'm not either. So when I came in and I saw this, I'm like, holy moly. So I was hyping it up for him, because I didn't want them to feel disappointed, like, oh, this guy doesn't even care. I'm like, no, he really does. I promise you. This is just kind of who he is. So they were playing Minecraft and Pokemon, and it was just so cool to have someone raid this guy who had like 4 viewers at that time, because they were also watching other channels, with his like 350. And even at 7 when I left, he still had 125 viewers. Like, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. But I'm so happy for him. Like, that was just so cool. We're getting there. Nothing's sticking. Oh, it does smell really good. So it's about what I expected. When it says a half hour online, like, yeah, if you know what you're doing. The first time, I normally double, sometimes a little extra, how long that recipe is going to take, but then also because I double the recipes. So when it said a half hour, we're a little over an hour now, which seems about right. We still have a little bit more to go. I'm going to keep it at this temperature because it's not bubbling over. So I'd say probably like 8 more minutes to reduce, and then a couple minutes with the cream cheese to incorporate, and then we can dish up. And to dish up, that's just adding, like, serving this, throwing some green onion on top, as well as some of that freshly grated cheese. This also goes back to me being impatient. Like, I have to be here and I have to watch the pot boil. Otherwise, it might not if I'm not here. And I have to encourage it to, like, keep going. I believe in you, pot. You can do this. I am glad I didn't also do the red pepper. I probably could have done a little more pepper now that it's with the pasta. I just don't want to add it now because then they're not going to be cooked properly. But with the tomatoes, I've got a good hint of that red color, and then that's also going to carry in the sauce. And then I've got the yellow and the orange. So I think it should have a pretty decent look to it. Alright, so now you can see, like, it's starting to thicken up, like they were talking about. But it's still pretty runny. Whee! I understand, Charlie, it is after midnight for you. So have a great evening. I will take pictures. I will remember to take pictures for you. And it'll be delicious. So we should have this plated, at least have a couple of bites, and packed up within the next half hour, which is about what I anticipated. The pasta is definitely overcooked at this point. Like, I could see you even just cooking the pasta directly in this, which I might try another time. Especially since I'm doing so much. And that's also going to make it thicken up faster, because all the gluten's from the pasta being released. But I did fully cook the pasta before adding it, and now it's cooking for like another half hour. Which is a little excessive.
For the perfect way to care for your baby. But here at Huggies, we know the only perfect way is your way. And we're just here to help with Huggies special delivery diapers and wipes. They're paraben-free with no harsh ingredients, delivering that best combination of
So yeah, something to keep in mind. Might be able to truly do this all in one pot. I'll have to try it. Test it out for you. See, I'm impatient. I'm like, I want to add the cream cheese now, but no. I'm making myself wait until at least 4 more minutes. It can thicken up for 4 more minutes. It's fine. It doesn't need long once the cheese is added. Brownie! Brownies do sound good. I never got any of the dessert last week. Are you still gonna play games or just chill out with the brownie and like put on some Netflix or something? Hulu? I don't know, right? I understand. Normally, I'm pretty on top of like all the Hulu stuff and all of my Netflix and Amazon Prime. I still haven't watched The Mandalorian. I still haven't watched Soul, which came out on Disney Plus. There's like 3 new seasons of series I watch on Netflix. I don't know if there's anything on Hulu right now because of the holidays. But I've been spending all my time on Twitch. Yeah, normally I spend a lot of time watching TV, and I spend all my time watching people on Twitch now. It's just one of those things that happens. No, it's only been a minute. I can wait. It's fine. It's fine. It is kind of really warm standing over the stove with a hat on. The brownie always prevails. The Real World? What's that? Are you talking about that TV show from like the 90s? Yeah, apparently I watch a lot of Call of Duty, some Pokemon, a lot of Rocket League. I watch a lot of things that I'm actually not very interested in. But Rocket League is fun, like with the right group of people, so I will try out Call of Duty because I'm sure it's fine with the right group of people. Rocket League, yeah. Oh yeah, so I will be streaming extra. I don't think I'm gonna go live tomorrow. We'll find out. If that happens, it's gonna be super last minute. I will be playing some Phasmophobia with Herrick, assuming I'm awake. But then, what is it? January 10th? We're doing a Rocket League tournament at some time. I'm gonna be out very quickly, I promise you that. Last I heard, I think it's in pairs, so I feel very, very apologetic for my partner. I'm not very good at Rocket League, but I was asked to participate, so I will. I didn't feel so bad when I was originally paired with the person hosting the event, but then he realized he had an odd number and missed someone. So I feel bad for that person, because if the person running the event wins and he's also the best player, yeah, pair him with the worst, which is me. That's fine. That's fine. He can carry me and I can hold him back and it'll be great. But someone else, I don't want to be that. Aw, that's cute. That's cute. T-Mac, watching nursery rhymes with your daughter. Oh, there we go. 9:35. That's a little better. That's a bit better. So it's still pretty runny, but it's sticking to the spoon a lot more. So I probably should let it reduce further, but as it cools, it's going to reduce. As I let the cheese melt in, it's going to reduce. So I don't want it to be too reduced. So I think this is good. And it says to add it in cubes. I probably could have made them smaller and then let it incorporate. So yeah, mainly I really wanted to try this recipe because I've never made anything with Cajun spices before, but also I liked the idea of the chicken stock and cream cheese, and I wanted to see how that comes together. I don't know what time the tournament is, T-Mac. I think it's Vibe who's hosting it, VBE 20. There. And then I also know my family, we like a lot of cheese, so I have the whole other half of the block of cream cheese that I can add if this does not look quite right. It's smelling right. Seems like it's going the right direction. So yeah, it is still a little runnier. But I can definitely turn the heat off. I don't need to keep bubbling away. I'm gonna add a little more cream cheese just because I want to and I want to see what happens. Even though it already looks right, I just want to do my own thing. Do my own thing. And that's half the fun of cooking. You get to do whatever you want. Yeah, don't really watch TV, just Twitch. There's plenty to watch on there, and I don't know. The chance for interaction's a lot better, especially with how closed off feeling is this year. With pandemic and everything. I did hear from my doctor today that they don't recommend me getting the vaccine. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just give it a month and ask again. Maybe they're just trying to be extra careful and wait and see how the first few rounds react. Maybe they're using that as an excuse because they didn't get any. I don't know. I just did not expect them to discourage me from a vaccine, because normally they're encouraging me to take the flu vaccine even though I have allergic reactions. There. I like it. It is still a bit runny. Hopefully as it cools, it'll be fine. I'm gonna trade these, take it off the heat. Gotta cut the green onion. Spread some cheese. Not much to show, but I just did one plant of green onion just to give it some extra color. I'll cut up the extra peppers and everything and store those. It is still a bit soupy, so I probably should have let it reduce a bit more. But that also should make it reheat really well because of the extra liquid content. Maybe. Maybe. And then my cheese grater. Trying to find a good spot for it. So you can still kind of see.
Who's ready to work? Here we go. Don't forget to breathe. Good idea.
Got home motivation?
We are climbing through this forest. Let's get it.
Anytime you want it.
Bump up.
Yeah, I probably should have let it cool because the cheese is just like insta melting.
You are unstoppable, Peloton fam.
Try the Peloton app free for 2 months. New members only. Terms apply.
Macy's after Christmas sale is
A
going.
little more fresh green onion on top.
Macy's card. That's on top of great deals like 50 to 60% off goods for the whole family. And our lowest
And voila.
65% off select designer bedding from
So it looks more like a curry because it's a little liquidy.
one bra, get one 50% off.
But I'm not mad at it. I think it's going to taste delicious.
Macy's Star Rewards members
Right? It should be delicious.
top sale and clearance prices.
Thank you, Billy. Oop, there we go.
This holiday season, remember
And I'll probably make a second plate after this cools to see if it thickens up a little more.
stay vigilant.
I think.
Make smart choices. Avoid indoor gatherings and wear a mask. Spread hope, not COVID.
5 stars. Aw. Yay, my new emotes.
2020.
I'm still waiting on the last one to get approved. I don't know what is taking so long.
Michigan Department of
But it's a tier 3 anyway, so enjoy those. Oh, crud. Dang it. Okay, I appreciate you guys, but now we've unlocked another emote, so I'm gonna have to make another emote tonight. So check back on Friday because there will be yet another emote. I don't know what one to make. I have the heart. I have RIP because I die a lot. I have rude. That's my kind of like rage. I'm like, oh, that's rude. So I don't know if I want to make a hype, if I want to make a raid. If I want to do a Mr. Bill. Oh no! I don't know. I'm open to suggestions. All right, let's try this. The flavors are there. The flavors are there. I'm not mad at it. I don't think I needed 4 cups. I probably could have gotten away with 2 cups of liquid. I do say oh no a lot. I do. I do. You can blame my dad for that one. He introduced me to Mr. Bill. So yeah, I'll probably next time, I think I'll try making this again. Maybe later this week. And reduce the liquid. Because it is really liquidy. Rocket League! I don't think the plate's gonna make it to you. But nice try. Because yeah, like the Cajun seasoning's there, but it's a very subtle amount because of all that chicken stock. So I think it would be kicked up a notch if A, I had let it brown up a bit more. B, hadn't used as much liquid. But 2 cups per serving did seem like a lot if you're not cooking the pasta in it. So I might have to try it both ways. Try it while cooking the pasta in it, and try it with just the reduced amount. Did I read the recipe wrong? Hang on. I might have misread something. It doesn't say to cook the pasta. So this is my fault. Yep. I just assumed you cook the penne pasta because normally that's what it says. But this doesn't say anything about whether it's cooked or uncooked. It just says add pasta. And it says 1 pound pasta. So I'm fairly certain I was supposed to add uncooked pasta because then that would have soaked up a bunch of that moisture. And yes, this would have been a much faster recipe. So I'll try that again and take pictures. That's what we did wrong. And by we, I mean me. You guys are just watching. But that's why my pasta's so overcooked. And that would be really delicious because then all of those flavors are going to soak up into the pasta. Cool. We figured it out. And those are just little things like I've picked up from reading recipes and watching people. It should have clued me in though when I saw that 2 cups. I just didn't even think about it. But yeah, here you can see now, like as it cools, it's gonna keep thickening. Let me switch back. There. So it's gonna keep thickening as it cools. You can see it's not quite as runny. But if it was uncooked, then yeah, all of that glutens are going to go into this instead of the pasta water that I dumped down the drain. Gotta use your noggin. So yeah, this would be a half hour. Because you're not pre-cooking the pasta, you're cooking it all in one. And since it's already at boiling when you throw the pasta in with everything else, that's why you cover it, to keep the moisture in. I get it, I get it. I see what they did there. So does anyone have a suggestion on who we should raid today? Because I don't have Twitch open. And I don't know who to raid. No, kitty, you don't get me. I know it smells delicious. I don't know if you can hear her, but she's over here very politely meowing. It's not the obnoxious, give it to me now. It's the, please mother, may I have some? Billy Hades! Oh my goodness, thank you so much. 5 tier 1 subs, holy moly. Boy, you going crazy. This guy did 3 $50 giveaways last night, in addition to all the donations he's been doing, in addition to everything else. He's been working his butt off, and then he comes in here and gifts 5 tier 1 subs. You crazy. You crazy. You just want more emotes, don't you? Ah, oh, Grady. No, I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all the subs, the bits, the follows, the lurks, the tabs, the chats, especially the chats. Mac, thank you so much. I'm just finishing up. I hope you have a good stream if that's what you're doing. Oh, I was gonna say another thing with this recipe is it didn't call for any sausage, and I'm used to having sausage in mine. So that's another thing I'd probably change, is adding that flavor. Icebergs, hello. Thank you for stopping by. I promised I'd be doing shoutouts if my commands were working, but they're not. So I will have to get you on Friday when I figure out what's going on. I will be back on Friday for sure, 6 p.m. I'm thinking it'll probably just be a grab bag of games because Epic has been doing a bunch of free games for the last few weeks. And Steam has a bunch of free games. So I have a lot of games I want to try. I know last week my grab bag went a little weird. I'm going to try and read the descriptions better before I open the game. Maybe we'll do some more Fall Guys if things just get a little too weird. But so far, none of the Epic games seem to be too inappropriate. Oh, not what you expect from random free Steam indie game. But it is what it is. So we make it work. I don't think my family is going to be super excited this week because this isn't like 110% a win. But it's also not an epic fail. I mean, it just doesn't even look that great packed up. The flavors are there. It's still delicious. This is looking a little... maybe not. It's looking a little sketch. I don't know. Alright, I think I've got it down enough that I can just start pouring. Oh, that's still pretty hot. Try not melt my food containers. Oh no, that's gonna make a mess. Of course, I should have known. Hopefully these two should be enough. Oh yeah, nope, I'm still in the way here. Oh no, I dropped some. Kitty, I have some food for you. Mm. And right there. Use your sniffer. I know your nose works. Billy Hades hosted my stream. Thank you so much. Right at the end, I don't want to like... But thank you, I appreciate it. I know, I'm so mad. I don't know why my commands aren't working today. I started the programs. My computer's up and running. It's just being frustrating. It's still 2020. I did see a good meme today about 2021. So someone's like, last day of 2020, yay! And then January 1st, 2020. Prestige edition. I was like, oh, that would suck so bad if next year was even worse and even more difficult. Someone else made a comment. They're like, yeah, what if 2020 is the start of a really bad decade? And we're like, no. No. You're not allowed to even suggest that. That's not allowed. 2020 is going to end, and it's going to be great, and we're all going to be happy. Because that's how it has to be. There. So my family has plenty. I've got 2 more meals.
Fancy cocktail at an unfancy price.
And we'll make more.
Number 21 vodka has you covered. Cosmopolitan after work.
Try a couple different things and see what works. But I think this is a pretty good recipe. Like, if you don't have onion, just add more onion powder. You don't have garlic powder, add fresh garlic. Don't have, I don't know, like you can just kind of adjust it to whatever you need it to be. And make it work.
You hear that? That's the rare sound of you getting.
Yeah, the commands are just being difficult. I don't know. Kens, it's okay. It's okay. I can still show you even though it's super melted. Cajun chicken pasta cooked wrong. Still delicious. I just didn't follow the recipe right. But that's what happens with online recipes. Like, they think they're being detailed, but there's always like that one little thing that is open for interpretation. So Johnny, I don't know if you heard, but what I said was it called for 4 cups of broth because I doubled. But it never said if the pasta was cooked or uncooked when you add in. I should have known just off the liquid content, uncooked pasta. So the fact that I cooked my pasta ahead of time means it looks more like a curry sauce. It still has all the flavors. It's still delicious. They just didn't get absorbed properly because the pasta was pre-cooked. And it's a little higher liquid content because the pasta was pre-cooked. So, attempt number 2 will be fine. Because we learn. My family's not going to be mad. They each get like... I mean, I made 8 servings. And I have 4 for myself. So yeah, this is 4 servings. So my family is going to eat well. Look at how much food's in there. Look at all that. They're gonna have a pretty decent meal with that. You could even throw some rice in there and just use the extra sauce. Like, meh. If you don't like chicken, that's fine. Throw in, normally I've seen this done with shrimp, which is why I thought, hey, that's kind of cool for New Year's, a lot of shrimp stuff. Like I said, I would add some sausage because I really like a good spicy sausage in there. Makes it a little more Cajun flair for me. I added a little extra cream cheese for us just because we like that. In that way they don't have to add any more on top if they don't want to. I would probably kick up the salt content for myself a little bit. Because yeah, you're not adding any salt since you're not salting your pasta water. So I would kick up the salt content a lot. Yeah, I think it turned out pretty well for a first attempt at Cajun chicken pasta. And the chicken is not dry. That was a concern of mine, was that it was going to turn out dry. But it really didn't. Really didn't. Alright, so let's switch back over to chat mode. We'll find someone to raid. 8 o'clock, like I said, yeah, we're all packed up. I'll have my little bit of cleanup to do. Two pans because I didn't read the directions right. I should have known, it really said 1 pot. Pay attention, Aaron. Pay attention. Oh well. Oh well. We make it work, and it's still gonna be edible. Still has all the good stuff there. It's not quite right. Alright, so who's on? Who do we want to raid today? Who's not raging? Because I cannot handle anyone else's rage. I gotta go check myself and my rage. Oh, DJ Bingo just started. Wait, why did DJ Bingo just start? That's weird. Battlefield. Rocket League. I mean, we could do Rocket League. Oh. I mean, I'm not super thrilled with them, but they would appreciate it the best. Alright, so we're gonna help out some Contagion crew. They're great. They're learning. They're working. They're growing. They're doing all the things they need to do. No, laptop. I know I opened another tab. Please don't die. Raid. What's the name? Oh, I can do this. I promise. Did I do it right? Did I do it right? Thank you. I'm actually wearing a dress. Let me see if I can get a good shot of it. But yeah, since I'm not going anywhere, doing anything. All right. Come on, mushroom. I need you. Voila. Well dressed. Still not great. Ugh. But yeah, this is a dress I got for New Year's like 2 years ago. Never wore it. That's okay. So again, hang out with my friends Shadow and Ash. They're a really wonderful couple. Give them follows if you haven't. Show them some love. They're working hard. Hardly working. As always. Thank you for hanging out. I'm going to go eat and clean up. I will see you guys maybe tomorrow, but definitely on Friday for some random gaming. And I hope you all have a wonderful day, because it's time for this errand to go. Bye. Bye. Bye-bye.